All right, greetings. Greetings, and welcome to Empaths Holistic Healing. It's me, Lady Empath, and I know I haven't put much in the description. I always typically go back and do it later, but tonight I am really excited to come on here to do a light language activation along with channel guidance, of course, utilizing various crystals um, regarding something very important. Today, I took a nap, and in this nap, I believe I was either astral traveling or past life regression, past life memory, um, and it it had to do with spirituality, spiritual leadership, authority figures. And um, I'm going to make the telling of this dream really short because I really hope, and I'm sincerely trying to minimize the time of the videos. I realize that the shorter videos people are able to stick with, and it's easier, it's quick. The longer videos are really hard to stick with. So I'm trying, you guys, but sometimes I feel like there's so much information coming, and it's like I'm still new to all of this as well, so haven't quite polished it and fine tuned it just yet. Um, so bear with me. But in the dream, I was a part of some group, right? I was in this group setting. It looks like a spiritual, maybe religious sort of setting. And it seemed okay. Everybody was talking, myself included, and it almost was like we were talking about light language or something to that effect. But oftentimes, you know how our conscious mind can't always interpret properly. So um, we were all talking, and then, it was all great. And a lady that appeared to be perhaps one of the leaders, she came to me, and, she was sharing and things like that. So we were having a nice conversation, and it seemed great. And then she mentioned, she was like, well, I would like to give you, this energetic, tool or something to that effect. And I was listening to her, and in that moment, I was like not really feeling it. But even in that carnation or whatever that was, I always was like kind of a polite person, and tried to like not be rude and not be dismissive. But in this case, I was actually just trying to stand for my own conviction, in which in that moment I did not, I didn't feel that confirmation. And so I said to her, I just said in the dream, I was like, well, you know what? I said, I actually do listen to several ones that are very effective for me right now. And, but thank you so very much. So she didn't stop there. Then she said, well, the one that I have for you is, gonna specifically do this, and this, and that. And I said, okay, I understand that. I said, I do have some though that are very, very much on the same page and level. And it's been very effective, and I'm really happy about it, or excited about it, or good with that. But thank you so much for offering. I appreciate, so I was trying to still not be like no, just rude about it. So but even with that, it wasn't enough. I'm going somewhere with what was revealed to me. Okay. So the conversation ended, and she went back to her spot, right? And I was still there, because I was still apparently part of this group. So I was still there, and we we're all still doing our thing. Next thing I know, it switched from, now she's talking and everybody can hear, myself included. She was basically trying to label me and stigmatize me and blackball me, and using me as an example because I did not agree to go along with what she was saying was, something to do or give to me. And I can remember in that moment, I was really first bewildered, shocked, upset, afraid, angry. It was a lot of feelings I felt because I was like, huh? And so she was basically trying to demonize me and paint me out to be something because I did not accept her offer. And what happened in the dream, I tried to stand up for myself. I was kind of like, I tried to resist it and stand up for myself. But she started mocking, basically. She started mocking me and saying certain things and doing so-called light language transmission to clear whatever. And it was a very interesting thing. And I was like trying to resist it. But the more I tried to basically I tried to stand up in that environment to prove her wrong and was like, oh, like whatever. But the more I tried to do that, my voice in the dream, my throat and my voice was being restricted. And I was afraid and I started asking for help. And then this is when I started waking up out of that state. But I remember feeling all of it. And as I woke up, I asked my guides immediately. I took deep breaths. I started meditating and was like, what is that about? And they had already, like a few days ago, they had already started pointing me in this direction. But basically, there's a couple messages that came from that. One of them was that the main theme is there's been a pattern and a theme in my Akashic records. Religiously speaking, spiritually speaking, as it relates to, spirituality and just all the different lifetimes I've had. And I have always, on some level, tolerated and was willing to accept things that did not sit well with me in the name of trying to fit in the name of trying to not be rude, in the name of trying to, make people feel good, to belong somewhere. I was willing in most of the cases to tolerate that kind of stuff. And which in essence was a dishonoring thing to myself because my intuition in all these times was telling me that something was not right. And so lo and behold, in all my different lifetimes, there's still this thing. It went from one thing to the next. And it's not only in the spirituality, but also just in authoritative figures. And my guides were showing me that's the pattern, but we're going to be addressing that and dealing with that and clearing some stuff. But so that was the first thing that stood out, like make note, notice that pattern, see it. And then we're going to release and let it go. The other thing is the more you try to resist, the more you try to stand up, in their way. And what they mean by that is we don't have anything to prove to no one. And the advice was to take on the stance that Jesus did more often than not. When people tried to come at him, to challenge him, the religious leaderships of the time, oftentimes he would just straight up ignore them. He would either ignore them or he would just walk away. He didn't use his precious energy trying to prove, quote unquote, who he was or prove he was, right in doing this or saying this or standing for this. He simply just walked away. And the guidance was because if you don't, you're just feeding that energy, that vibration, and it's going to cause you to be stuck in that vibration, which is why I felt restricted in the dream. And so that by me trying to resist in that way and trying to stay and trying to prove and show and stand up and say something, it didn't help. Walking away is where the freedom comes in these kinds of situations, because it's not about trying to prove anything to anybody. It's not about trying to explain. My guides were letting me know that these are some clues that we need to be aware of when it comes to our journeys. Even in a journey like this, the guidance is, if something's not sitting right with you and you still have your intuition on top of wisdom and practicality and it's just not sitting well, we are free will moral agents, moral beings. And it is your divine birthright to refuse or turn down something that does not resonate with you. And if people are coming, here it's a test, because when people are coming from benevolence or divine energy and vibration, then they can accept it with grace. They can accept it without retaliation, without, a bitterness or whatever. They can because they're coming from a pure love vibration. And another guidance that came through on that was that in situations that happen like that, the individuals were still in their egoic, frequency primarily. Their lower chakras was still not quite balanced. And so the egoic nature kicks in. And that's what happens anytime we go on any endeavor. Spirituality is not gonna change that, no matter what route of spirituality. If you're not dealing with the energetic system, the chakra system, chances are your egoic nature is going to show up. And depending on where you're at in your journey and your particular kind of personality or energetic issues, this is what causes us to try to intrude and enforce our ways on people. This is what causes us, and we'll use, God, these are all of our ways in which we have done this. God said, I feel, okay, you can feel all of that all you want, but at the end of the day, pure divine light energy does not intrude and is not offended either. So it's an indicator that perhaps one needs to go back and say, okay, why am I bothered? Okay, why am I now low-key trying to practice my works on this person because they refuse my service? Is that coming from love, light, energy? And the egoic nature is very slick in the convincing of, oh no, this is, because I'm concerned and I'm trying to no, you're upset because that person had the gumption to stand on their own conviction, on their own independence and individuality, and tell you no. And especially when someone does it with such class, the way I saw myself in these, visions and dreams and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, it wasn't abrasive, the decline. So the guidance, you all, especially in paths, the light language is really going to be tapping into those patterns, the Akashic records, where there's been these agreements, these patterns, these codes, these patterns to continue to tolerate, continue to seek out or participate in situations that are, it's not really sitting with us, that's not serving our highest intelligence, that's quite squelching. Another thing that came through was that oftentimes in my Akashic records, if people couldn't use me, the reason why I kept being highlighted was because they sensed something, they felt something that they thought could be of a benefit to them. And then the moment they saw that I was not going to allow them to control that or tap into it that way, then the ego in them, the ego of nature went into their survival. Because when you're coming from the egoic nature, it is fear and control and scarcity based. So they go into that instantaneously, and this is subconscious. So it's not like they sat there and just decided it. It was subconscious. So I became the threat. I became the threat. The reason I became the threat, because they're in the lower chakras and that fear-based, scarcity-based, control-based. And so it's like, okay, she's going to be my competition. She's going to take my fame. She's going to take my following. She's going to take my business. She's going to take the attention. She's going to, so she must be destroyed. She must be removed. That's really what it's about. It's survival. And so, and I think the reason why that was revealed is because at the end of the day, the bottom line is everything still is energy and vibration, and people in all of our lifetimes, incarnations, in these kinds of situations, whether they are aware of it or not, anytime you are intruding on the rights of others or you feel superior within yourself, and the guidance that you feel like you're getting to intrude upon someone else's free will and rights, something's not going on right in your lower chakras. That hasn't been dealt with. And we're specifically talking in this case about spirituality and authority. So I was like, wow, okay. And then on the flip, like earlier I said, I think on the commercial I did on Facebook, that we're going to deal with the Akashic records on all sides, because where we've been, the receiver of the abuse, but also it may be in lifetimes where we were the ones intruding on people, because that too is still in the Akashic records. Okay. So we're going to target all sides of this thing to release all of that. Let it all go. All of those agreements, mindsets, ways, fears, anxieties. We're going to deal a lot with the throat chakra. So I'm really excited about that, because I can just sense how freeing it's going to feel, and how our manifestations, what we're manifesting, our experiences, how that's going to shift. Because at the end of the day, we have a right, everyone, okay? You have a right to follow your inner guidance system. You have a right to honor that. You have a right to speak the truth. You have a right to, if something's not really resonating, you don't have to lie and pretend that it is to appease people. So we're going to transmute that out and raise our vibration and send a lot of forgiveness energy, a lot of high vibrational, unconditional love energy, a lot of healthy boundaries energy. And I have certain crystals that I'm using specifically that's going to be good for this. I'm using tourmaline. Not tourmaline, black kyanite, black shungite. I'm going to use the red tiger's eye, carnelian, the bronzite, amber, and clear quartz for this particular channel. Because those crystals, man, these ones right here, yeah, they some heavy weights, okay, in terms of, going deep into healing, deep into the roots, patterns of use, people's thoughts and projections, and all of those things, the egoic stuff, cutting of ties, cutting of unhealthy etheric patterns and connections, and bringing those chakras back into balance with clear quartz, and elevating our vibration and all of these carnations and experiences. So it's gonna be great. I've already started my own personal activations in this, and I'm already sensing the change, and I can only imagine what it's going to continue to be. Okay, and so without further ado, I'm gonna get a little more light. As you guys know, when it comes to the light language, I like you all to take some time to get comfortable, take some time to take a couple of deep breaths and get alone and not distracted if you can. With this particular transmission, if you yourself have access to crystals that you're drawn to, I recommend that you, if you're not watching now, that you just pause it and go back and get those crystals. I also recommend that if you have access to essential oil like lavender, peppermint, tea tree, there are others, but these are some of the more general ones that are good. And if you can, place some of that essential oil, the ones that are more, lubricant, not just the liquid, but so the ones that are actually like a lubricant, um, take a couple of drops and put it in the place of your third eye, your crown, your throat chakra, your seal chakra, basically all of the chakras if you can, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, the root. But I want to take it further. Put some in the centers of your hands for the chakras that are there, and then beneath your feet. Okay. If you can, it's not necessary. You're still going to get the effect, but it's almost like co-creating along with the energetic transmission, further assisting your energetic system to receive in, those transmissions. All of this is going to the subconscious. That's what the Akash is all about, which is what is creating our world, since we're governed by 90% by the subconscious, right? So I'm going to get a little more light on. I'm going to grab my selenite wands and we're going to get started, okay? All right. If you can hear that music, just take that in for a moment. Take your breaths and let me get that light going. All right. Hope you guys are nice and comfy. Place your hands over your heart. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Follow your breathing. Notice your breaths. If it's not comfortable to close your eyes, just glare at the screen. Softly gaze at the screen. And set your intention now to be open and receptive to this light language transmission, to our ritual and authoritative abuse, and all subsequent mindsets and attitudes or behaviors and patterns and patterns, ancestral and bloodline. We set our intention to surrender to our highest intelligence. We set our intention to be from our heart space, to let go of all things that are no longer serving our highest and greatest good and perfect comfort and alignment, joy, bliss, contentment, and fulfillment, ease and peace, divine order and timing in our lives. Mind, step aside. Mind, step aside. We are not our minds. We are not our bodies. We are word through the Christ itself. We are love. We are loved. We are loving. We are lovable. We erase ourselves. We are everything and nothing. We set our attention to be in our now. We set our intention to allow our highest intelligence to come forward, to allow the inner guidance and guru to come forward. We set our intention to allow our purest mind operating from benevolence and high vibrations only to come on this journey. We ask for Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel, Metatron, and the angel of the earth beneath the earth to assist us in our now, to assist us in this energetic transmission, to assist us with processing all that is connected to this, to assist us and protect us in our now and forevermore, in our cash, with gratitude, with gratitude, with joy and ease and grace and elegance and sophistication, and with tenacity and wit and wisdom and creativity. That's in divine order with who we really are. My intention is to tap into light language, targeting these issues. From my heart space and from the benevolent divine light energy only. May the transmission provide the vibration and feeling of safe and sound, safe and secure, safe and protected, to be true to ourselves in all environments, in all situations, in all circumstances, in all carnations, feeling the love from within, the divine birthright from within. That's the selenite wands that you hear. As you all know, all crystals and stones have their own frequency, their own vibration. Selenite is known as liquid light, very purifying. Starting with the shungite, carnelian, and red tiger's eye. I'm holding them in the palms of my hand, together, all together. so that I can tap into their energy and frequency and channel the light language through their energy and frequency as well. Keria masakuro shamayakaria samayakara makuro sororia shamaka. Kere makara sono moririo shakararia mararia sayaka. Kereri makara shararirio mokoro shokoreria namakasa. Ereri mosa, sherekererio masa. Ori yara shuru yakararia sarakaraya karaya karaya. Karaya 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 karaya. Karaya 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 somokoro soro. Esherea. Esemo. Tiriamaka. Oromo ikarisio shiriri akara. Oriamakara yakururu shayakarama asari yarara makaro okoro oshara aka asha aka. Siriri achakara ramakara romokore shereri moko sara iya oya iya ukomo sumo karaya karay. Asamaka yakaro shamaya shemaya somo ikere shimoya. Samaya koromoso, koromo iya, kororo ya yororo ya roshaya karaya, sea, o sea, iya, o ea, sea, que gamoko shekoro ya yororo mokoso, shayaka, a okosa. Siririri, yigiriri, yokoromoso, yoko, akarama iya, sherere moya, sherere, whoa, sherere moya, kororomosa iya, okoromoso iya, shaya okoro iya, kaya sa iya, koromo korereri akara, asa. Asa, 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 yasha. Akarara samaka. Gerere ako shakya. Akara Asharari, Ariri, Ariamoro, Sororo, Yarararomo, Sororo, Yanararomo, Sororo, Ashak, Isha, Oya, Sakrama, Sakraro, Io, Sakrama, Saka, Ashuru, Kurumo, Saraya. Ooh, take it in. Esemaka. Eke aramoya. Ekere amoya sai osho. Sai oromo sho yarari oro sai. Ekere ashakara yokororo sayama ika oka. Akashai oshai shu ashai osho. Asama asos aisha osho. Osharaya, Akamaria Yokoro. God, it's getting hotter. Akararama, esherererimoho, shakaraya, makararoro, shari. Transmuting it all. We're transmuting the trauma. We're transmuting the abuse. We're transmuting akarara, akarararo, okororo, okorari, yarara, akarari, oshakarari, yarara, asha, the patterns. Yakarara, the kororo, shot, the codes. Hakarari, esharari, orokororo, shari. Shari, 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 shoro, yaka, ekerere, omoko, neutralizing, akari, yasha. Aka, akari, she, all neutralizing, transmuting the manipulation, the intrusion, okarara mokororo sha, the agreements for that. Akararirio sha, yeah, the controls. Akarara sha, the fears, the people pleasing, the hypervigilance. Akararo okarama asha, ekere, to our own demise, neutralizing that, transmuting that. Akari, shekereri mokoro, and raising the vibration. Aka, ekereri mokosho, asariya, akasarariya, akasarari. Akasarari, Akasarari Asha, to our individuality and our birthrights to stand. Akarararo in our own convictions. Akarara okoroshere mo. Akarara, and to speak our truth in love while feeling safe. Akarara mosho, and walking away. Akarara mosho, without the need. Hakararo to explain or to prove, walking away from things that no longer serve our highest and greatest good, things that are meant, things that are demising and minimizing and squelching of our true self. Walking away from demoralization. Yeah, Lord, yakarama, 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 as well as we're letting go that addiction to victimization, that addiction to that addiction to modernism, and the addiction to the story, the addiction to the experience. Akaramasha, on I Am Manifest, she mentions how the egoic mind, the way it knows it's alive is through the pain and suffering, and it recreates things, but we're neutralizing that. Akararamo, to our highest, and raising the vibration to our highest, purest mind in conjunction into our heart and with our highest intelligence. Akarama yakaroro. So we're letting go of the need to suffer. Ooh, that's a big one. I felt that. Oh, whoa. Fire is all up in the solar plexus and the root and sacral. We're surrendering. We let go of the need to suffer, the addiction to suffering and suffrage, the storyline. Oh, God, woo, shakarama. It's tapping into ancestral and DNA too. It's tapping into heritage, slavery, and the stories, and oh, yakaramasha, letting it go. We're letting it go. We're setting our tension. We're letting it go. Hakaramosha, we're releasing it so that we can be filled with the new, filled with the new, filled with high vibrations, filled with unconditional love, radical forgiveness, and compassion for the self and all involved. Akarama kashororo koro meshikireri ashakaraya korore shakarama shakororo shakara akario shakrama shakramo shakrama shakriri ashkririo shkrira ishkrio sakrama ya yokororo shkrara yokororo ya akaririo ya shkramo akara empowerment consciousness yakarama shakro equality consciousness joy consciousness, bliss consciousness, peace consciousness, happiness consciousness, fulfillment. We're letting go of the belief that we're not alive if we're not feeling pain. We're letting go of the belief that we're not alive if we're not in some kind of drama. We're letting go of the belief that we're not alive if we're not fighting and conniving and scrimping and scratching and hustling and bustling with something and somebody. We're letting it go. We're letting go all vengeance. We're letting it go. Vengeance to the others or vengeance to the self. Self-hate, self-sabotage. Yakaro, yaso, yakari, yoshrama, karamo, sarara, karamo, sharara, karamo, shakarara, karamo, Eshekereri omoso kororosho kororosho arayama sarari amarara homo oso pereri oshoko. Ashaka iya semo akashka iya Ashana makara iyai sherere wo asama yaka shoo kara shairo mosu. Switching out woo, to the amber and to the bronzite. Sharamaka, okere makara shiara. Healing of all of the carnations, tapping into healing of the physical form, of healing of all carnations, healing of all experiences and all involved, channeling, healing, and transmuting and deflective, neutralizing vibrations from the bronzite and the amber, healing and balancing to the chakra systems, energetic systems, to all carnations. Akara mashara koro sanamiya, kara yakara miya, shakara yakara miya. So take a deep breath in, take it in. Whoa, I feel the throat now, big time throat chakra. Oh, we're releasing and neutralizing and transmuting the need to mute and minimize ourselves as a defense, to silence our voice and our truth, or silence or minimize ourselves and our truths in the name of protection, so that we can feel protected, so that we can feel safe, and so that we can be a part of some kind of a group or some kind of a family or connection. We're letting that go. We're transmuting that, raising the vibration to self-honor, raising that vibration to standing ground, standing in truth, living your truth, speaking your truth, while feeling the love and support of the universe, while feeling safe while doing so, and while feeling strong to make any necessary adjustments to your surroundings, connections, and involvements. We're letting that go. Akara, the willingness to allow others to do it to us, or us doing it to ourselves. Akara masharara kororo mosoko. Ooh, I felt big time in the throat. Shakarara masarara mokororo osharari yakarasa. Esharari yakarasa. Esharari yatakarasa. Sherererimo. Now I'm still holding the crystals, but I'm utilizing my right hand, because light language comes through my hands too. So I'm moving energy. Akarara moko shereri akara masa aka eshereri moka. Concentrating on the throat. Akarara masha. Okararari okororo shai kororo shai kororo shai kororo shai kororo shai kororo shai aka kororo shai akara kororo ria so shakarara. Shakaraya okoromoso. Oh, I. Shh. 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 Sakarara shkaro shkari ashkar ashrum akakara makara shkaro shkri ashakarayo. Oh, shakaria makara sama akara uya oya ese moyo korosho, ese moyo okorosho acceptance, woo, of self, individuality, independence, self-love, self-appreciation, self-validation, self-honor, self-respect. We're raising the vibration of the self and all, of the self and all. Akara makara kasha, akarara makara akasha, agara makara aka ashara. Healthy boundaries. Akaroho shukororo shokororo shokororo sho ashrama. Healing to the thyroid, healing to the throat chakra, healing to the thyroid, healing to the throat chakra, healing to the thyroid, healing to the throat chakra. Akaramokoro shakiya, shakiya, shakiya. Healing to the voice, healing to the larynx, healing to the voice box, healing. The throat chakra is your voice, your communication, how you express in the world. Akarama karoro okororo shaya karari okororo shkara shkroro okoro moskoro okorori shkra aka iya shki a akari a aka asha I a aka removing. I gotta switch out okorara sharama, switching to black kyanite and clear quartz together. Akarama shaya. Oh, cutting etheric quartz, cutting the patterns and conditions and connections and cycles and energetic cords that toxic that were creating abuse over and over, creating abusive dynamics with others, abusive spiritual connections with people, cutting eseremo yakaya go there shoo shoo akaramakaya koro shakai go akari shigere mokoro aka alchemy shakarama asai o akari yokoro mosha freedom hakara to operate your craft. Aka freedom, akarara oku to shine, freedom, akara akaro okoro oshara iya akara okoro to be your own cheerleader. Hakarara okoro okari ashara karama akarari akaramoko osha akara akarara o akara to build your own dream and speak your own dream. Akarara mokoro sharari akara akaro shararia sakarama karashi okoro akara koroso, freedom to express and set healthy boundaries. Akarara o shakara, akara yakawa, feeling safe. Akarara invalidated and worthy. Akarara mokoro sharari, akarara makara okoro koro shereri mokoro karara. Asa, 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 asa. Shad. Ooh, ooh, cutting strings. Releasing the fear of shining, releasing the fear. Ayarara makara shoro korosoma. Ashakarara marara mokororosia. Ekeremo shakara. Ia. Oh. We're transmuting and neutralizing the projections and thoughts and wishes and prayers of others. Akarara makararo okoreri akarasha. And the fear of it. Akara, we're releasing it and transmuting it. Oh, sending love and light and violet fire into all our carnations, and all that were involved, all of the abusers, creating energetic boundaries. Ishamaka, 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 Isamaya, 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 Okoroya Ramasa, Garamo Karasa, Sherere Mokororoso, Akada, Eash, Eash. Hai. Ai. Ai. Arayama, heya, heya, Shuyakara, Yakarama, ta 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 to, ta 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 ya, ta 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 ya, ta ti ta 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 ya, aka go, ya ya ya, so. Zoai, 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 Zoai. Yama, Serema, Usorararamukarayash. Bringing in peace. You may feel all kinds of emotion. Allow it. Stay with it. You may feel sensations in your body. You may feel twitches. It's energy. It's all energy moving. Whew. Allow it from a neutral place, non-judgment. Acknowledge it. And whatever your urge is, expressing it, yelling, crying, shaking. Oftentimes energy comes out that way. Energy moves that way, and the manifestation you may shake. Allow it. With the intention of just letting it go. Nothing to do. Nothing to fix. nowhere to go. All love. You're supported in this journey, in this process. Gentleness. Sarama. It's okay for you to shine, for you to smile, for you to laugh, for you to be. You have a birthright to be, to shine, to laugh, to enjoy, to express your journey, to explore. Arama. We're letting go of the addiction and the desire or the need or the agreement to be willing to minimize or demise or demoralize or depreciate ourselves in the name of trying to feel safe or in the name of trying to appease others, in the name of trying to fit in. We set our intention to let it go. We set our intention to let it go. Forgiveness of the self, forgiveness of all those involved. We set our intention to release the forgive, and we're channeling that to our Akash. And all of these traumas, circumstances, events, situations, carnations, memories, imprints, DNA, Akararo Mokoroshi, raise the vibration, raising the codes, Akarama, Akariyarama Kadoshida. It's safe to be Akarama. Safe, and we have a right to choose what's right for us. Akarama Karasha. True love energy respects and honors. Love vibration respects and honors everyone's journeys, no matter how different. We are all in different levels and places on our paths. Even those of us who are on this particular journey, everyone is not on the same level of a consciousness or enlightenment in terms of energy. Everyone is not in the same place in terms of working with their own energetic system. Thus, the importance of tapping into your own inner guidance to know what's right for you, the divine within you, with love and in respect to all, but knowing that you have a right to be you, and a right to set boundaries, and a right to say no. Knowing you have nothing to prove to no one. To no one. Agara Maya Sarakara. We are love. We are love. We are loving. And yes, we are lovable and worthy of all of the beauty and bliss and great, wonderful, exquisite experiences divine Mother Earth has for us. We are worthy to be free, free of pain, free of abuse. We're worthy to create the beauty we desire to experience. We are co-creators, and we are worthy to create experiences that are in alignment with who we truly are. I'm sending you all much love and light. Rest with this. Drink plenty of water. Take a lot of deep breaths. Pay attention to the sensations of your body. Be gentle with yourself. Go with the flow and just know it's done. Rest in that. Till next time, I'm sending you all much love and light and wishing you all well on your journeys. So high, and so it is. So let it be. Namaste.